bobhund, standing here with Bryce, the last day of the Adrian Pro League 3. How are you feeling?
I'm doing really well.
You have been sitting watching the games. What do you think about the Circus Maximus venue?
Oh, it's great. Honestly, it's much better than MLG as far as the venue goes. Like, I've never been to Atlantic City before, but this place is great. Obviously, the Circus Maximus stage is amazing. You know, it really just kind of brings the crowd together. I like the lights. You know, just everything's electric in there. It's great.
You fought in the open bracket, defeating players like Heypro and Sake. Were you happy with your performance?
I was okay with it this time. You know, typically, as far as like the past MLGs and such, I haven't quite performed up to par as far as my standards go. But beating, you know, Heypro once again and Sake for the first time, you know, I can't help but be a little bit happy about that. But at the same time, I'm coming here to win the whole thing. So obviously disappointed when I got knocked out by Select, but beating Sake and Heypro was a pretty strong thing for me.
Okay. You're currently living in the EG house. How do you like it there to start off with?
Yeah, it's great. The EG house in Phoenix, you know, it's pretty hot there, obviously, living in Phoenix. Not quite used to the heat yet, but as far as like just being able to live with a team and live with players and practice, you know, 8-12 hours a day, every single day is, you know, it's really raising my level, and I think this performance definitely shows that everyone on EG is, you know, consecutively getting better and better at the game.
Of course, you put a lot of money into this house, but do you feel it's worth it for the team? Because, like, how much better is it for you compared to living at like home and playing?
Well, it's definitely worth the money that was put into it. The only difference between the Koreans and the foreigners really is the Koreans have a lot of structure. They're sitting down, they're practicing with each other, the top Koreans, you know, 12 hours a day. And so by giving ourselves this opportunity, by having this house, being able to sit down, have structured practice against players, you know, we're improving, but I guess as far as to see how much we can improve is just by having this house, we'll just kind of have to wait and see, but we're definitely going to be the best foreign team here pretty soon, just by being able to sit down and practice with each other day in and day out every single day.
You have been doing this like kind of funny videos where you have been eating a lot of stuff. You have been eating a lot of stuff, like those big burgers, I think you.
Oh, sandwiches, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the like 9 burgers or 11.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah.
Do you have any like? Why did you choose to do those videos? Was it like just for fun, or do you have anything like planned in the future, doing the other kinds of community stuff?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I've done a few of them now. The first one was the what were they called? Sliders, the slider challenge, and then I had another video where I ate a bunch of habaneros. The reason why I do it is because I'm kind of known in the house for eating a lot. Like, I eat more than anyone else in the house, including even in control. Before, you know, even as a kid, I was constantly going to restaurants, doing like their food challenges, eating 3-pound steaks and stuff like that. So you know, it's just something I'm kind of good at, and I obviously love to eat. Everyone thinks it's amazing that I can eat so much, so. But by no means am I trying to be a competitive eater or anything. But yeah, I definitely do have plans to do it here in the future again.
Okay. Talking more about the Adrian Pro League now, what do you think is the best about being here at the event in Atlantic City, and what is the worst thing about it?
The best easily is, you know, more than any other event, they really take care of their players. Anytime I needed water, anytime I had any sort of problem with the computer or anything, I had someone standing right behind me, ready to, you know, help me out any way they could, or at least find someone who could. So as far as a player goes, you know, this is an amazing event that I hope I'll be participating in the future. The worst, I'd have to say, was sort of the table setup in just the open bracket room. just S-curve tables. Once again, like no pro player likes to play with tablecloths on. Just it makes your keyboard move around and such like that. There's a few computer problems like graphics card issues, but nothing really that they could handle. Any sort of situation we had where that could have been changed, could have been rectified, they did. They were 100% for the players, and I love this event just for that.
You were recently, or like in the beginning of the summer, in Sweden attending DreamHack.
Yes.
What did you think of Sweden and DreamHack?
Sweden was amazing. It's such a beautiful country. It reminded me a lot of sort of the East Coast in America. Just very green, pristine, beautiful. And as far as the event goes, it was quite a challenging event. I ended up being knocked out fairly early, but as far as just becoming a spectator after that, it was amazing. The one thing I think I would change as far as that event goes is maybe have the players a little bit closer to the spectators, because they kind of had like a separate tent where they were doing all their casting in. And I think that the spectators at least would like to feel a little bit closer to the players. But other than that, it was just an amazing event altogether.
Next week you're going to MLG. Can you tell us a bit more about your group and how do you think that you're going to do?
Well, once again, I have a very challenging group. Liquid Ret is in it, RGN Slush, Rain, and who is it? Hongun. Yeah. So, every single race is in that group. Once again, having to play my great practice partner, Liquid Ret, who I spend all day trying to study and, learn the game with him is obviously going to be a challenge. I'm really not looking forward to playing him. I just don't like playing friends. But I think I should do pretty well. I think my Zerg vs. Protoss has gotten extremely strong recently. I've really started to pick up sort of the Korean builds and the Korean timings, and so I should defeat Hongun. Rain is someone who I'm looking to get a little payback against. He defeated me at the last MLG with a couple games with some proxy barracks, so hopefully because of the new patch, those will be a lot less effective, and I should just be able to beat him, or at least drag him to mid-game with myself later on. Slush is a player who I kind of have his number. Zerg vs. Zerg is my best matchup. I'm not really worried about anything he can do because he's shown me just about everything he can do, and I can defeat it. So it's really Ret that I'm not looking forward to playing, because even though Zerg vs. Zerg is my best matchup, right now he's just better than me. So I've got something to prove, that's for sure.
Are you going there directly from here to the MLG, so you don't have much time to practice, I guess?
No, actually. We go back for a day, and then we fly into MLG. It's a little odd. I wish we would have just flown straight to Florida so we could get over being jet lagged and all that, but I'll go home for a day, probably sleep for most of it, maybe get a little bit of practice in, watch some replays of at least Rain. He's the one I'm not quite sure exactly what he does later on, but I've studied just about everyone else pretty scrupulously. And then I fly straight off to Florida, and hopefully I play pretty well there. Just hang on to my top 16 at least for Providence.
Yeah, MLG has gotten a lot of critique about the top 16 system, and like some players like yourself that hasn't placed very good but are still inside the pool play. Do you yourself think it's bad, or do you think that, are you happy that you benefited from it this year?
Well, obviously I'm very happy that I've been able to benefit from it, but I will agree that my performance hasn't, at least to me, hasn't felt like a top 16 performance every single time. I've pretty continuously been placing between 20th and 16th. And I'm still managed to be in the top 16 bracket somehow. So no, I completely disagree. I should not be in the top 16 right now, but it's benefiting me, so it's kind of hard for me to really argue with it too much right now, but they need to change it for the next season, definitely.
Puma, Hydra, and Huck are going to live in Korea. Would you like to go to Korea also and live there for a while at least?
Oh yeah, definitely. Korea they're still at the forefront of StarCraft 2. If I really wanted to sort of have a way to boost my game up to the next level, moving over to Korea for a little bit would be the best way to go about doing that. I'm hopefully going to try to at least be rotated in and out along with like Hydra and the Muslim, but nothing's for sure yet. But I do anticipate going to Korea hopefully in the near future.
Do you have any last words?
I'd like to thank all my fans. Once again, you guys give me the drive and motivation to come out here and keep playing as well as I am. I'd like to thank all my sponsors: Intel, SteelSeries, Bigfoot Network Cards, Six Pool Gaming, Monster Energy, Intel Extreme Boards, InWind, and Split Reason. And yeah, I think that's it.
That's a lot. Thank you so much for the interview and good luck at the MLG.
Well, thank you guys very much.